My brother said, "You are always the black sheep, so don't expect anything when Dad dies." But the will had a different story. He'd said it at Thanksgiving, loud enough for everyone to hear. My sister Lennox nodded into her champagne. Mom just looked away like she always did when Camden got cruel. I was the black sheep because I became a social worker instead of joining the family pharmaceutical company. Because I lived in a small apartment and drove a decade-old car. Because I actually seemed happy while they competed endlessly over bonuses and vacation homes, and whose kids got into better schools. When Dad was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, I took a leave of absence and moved back home. Camden was too busy with board meetings. Lennox had her charity galas. Mom retreated to her garden, saying she couldn't handle seeing him deteriorate. So I learned to crush pills, manage the morphine pump, change bandages, and hold the basin when he vomited blood. I sat with him through 3 a.m. panic attacks about dying. I read to him when he couldn't sleep. I held his hand through treatments that left him too weak to lift his head. My siblings visited maybe 4 times in 7 months. They'd stay 15 minutes, uncomfortable with the smell of sickness, then escape back to their perfect lives. Camden brought business documents twice, trying to get signatures on corporate transfers. Lennox took selfies with Dad for her Instagram, posting about family strength and never giving up. But I was there, every single day, 212 days straight. Dad started talking during those long nights. Really talking. For the first time in my adult life, he told me about his own father's cruelty, about building a business he'd grown to hate, about measuring success in dollars until he forgot how to measure it in anything else. "You were the only one who turned out right," he whispered one Tuesday. "You help people. You make a difference." I made money. He died on a Sunday morning in October. I was holding his hand. The hospice nurse said he'd waited until I was there. The funeral was a production. Camden eulogized Dad's business legacy. Lennox arranged orchids that cost more than my monthly rent. Mom wore black Prada and accepted condolences like a queen. The will reading was scheduled for the following Thursday. Camden wore his $4,000 suit, already planning how to expand the company with his inheritance. The lawyer, Theodora Pace, opened the documents. "To my son Camden, I leave my office desk and my business books. Perhaps they'll teach him what I couldn't." Camden's face went white. "To my daughter Lennox, I leave my wife's jewelry collection and the artwork from my study. Beautiful things for someone who values appearances." Lennox's mouth opened, but nothing came out. "To my wife Regina, the house and her personal accounts." Then Theodora looked directly at me. "To my son Weston, I leave the company, all investment portfolios, the properties, and 85% of my personal estate. Total value, approximately $43 million. He sacrificed everything to ensure I didn't die alone. He's earned it all." The room exploded. Camden stood so violently his chair crashed backward. "This is insane! He knows nothing about pharmaceuticals." Theodora held up one hand. There was more. "Weston spent 7 months caring for me when my other children couldn't spare 7 hours. He gave up his career, his apartment, and his dignity to sit with a dying man." Camden and Lennox measured love in brief visits and photo opportunities. Weston measured it in sleepless nights and held hands. The business needs someone who understands that healing people matters more than profit margins. Camden hired 3 law firms. They found the will ironclad, properly witnessed, legally unbreakable. Lennox hasn't spoken to me in 18 months. Mom called once to tell me I destroyed our family. I sold Dad's luxury car collection and donated the proceeds to hospice programs. I restructured the company, implementing profit sharing for all employees, and reducing drug prices by 30%. Last quarter was our most successful ever. I still volunteer at homeless shelters every Saturday morning. My siblings call me the black sheep who stole their inheritance. I call myself the son who finally understood what Dad needed. Love isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in presence.